Hey everybody, this is Sher, Dealer eTraining, and I'm back with another funny story that just hit me as I finished the last video. So I mentioned earlier, I started my sales career. I went to another dealership. I went to work for DCH Auto Group. Big group, now owned by Lithia these days, right? And had to go through sales training again. And they had my good friend Brandon Hardison was employed by them at the time. His job was to do recruiting and training. He was the corporate trainer at DCH Corporate in Old Bridge, New Jersey. And we had a really, really great week of training. So they hired me. They put me on this training pay because I was still green. So they wanted me to be DCH sales certified. I got the certificate somewhere. And they put some people up in a hotel, and they were doing a training class for all the new hires for all the stores. We had people from New York, we had people from California, we had local Jersey people. Everybody was going to their own such store. There's probably 40 or 50 people there. So DCH at the time had like 32 dealerships, so huge group. And Brandon Hardison, he was really inspirational. I still have the book, the DCH sales training book. I remember we had to go through sales training, and then for a week they wanted us to shadow salespeople, and it was different than my first experience because this was really corporate-y, and everything was by the book. It wasn't like the figure it out mentality. Everything was set up the right way. But where it got interesting for me was I started to focus on product knowledge. I started to focus on learning about my cars. I wanted to be eligible for spins. I wanted to be eligible for certain things. They taught me right off the bat that I needed to do that. So after my training was done with Brandon and they put me in the store, I spent a week taking tests, learning about Hondas. I went to a Honda store and I made sure that I knew everything about Hondas that I could, the history of them, about the cars itself, product knowledge. If a question came up, I knew how to answer it because I failed that question on a test before. It was absolutely incredible, the level of training that I got, and I felt like this is how I need to get things done. And I was self-motivated. I don't know what it is. I was always self-motivated. You never really had to give me a kick in the ass to get me to do certain things. I just saw, maybe it's the fact that I made $1,500 in my first two cars at the other store, that I realized that there's something here for me. So I mean, it was great training. It was somewhat different, but similar, because the road to the sale is going to be the road to the sale. Everything from meet and greet to close and negotiation and follow-up and everything, it was all the same. So great experience. Got through training and made some good lifelong friends. You know, Jamie, who went to work at Brunswick Toyota, oddly enough, a store that I live a mile down the road from. You know, my buddy Carlos, who left the business like a year after. You know, my friend Brian, who was, you know, Carlos and Brian were in my store. So we became a clique. You know, I think Ben ended up coming to join us and work with us too. We ended up having our own little friendly clique of people because we got hired at the same time. And boy, do we have some funny stories. The next video I'm going to tell you about, you know, it might be a little graphic. Okay, but it's okay. I have no shame. So I'll tell you how it is. It was funny. You know, but again, we had a really, really good experience. What was even interesting, one of the things that we did was one day they sent us out in the field. We went to a dealership in our group. We actually went to Freehold Toyota in Freehold, New Jersey, and pretend, you know, they didn't know who we were. We went and mystery shopped them as to see how they sell cars, so how the process was. We did the test drive and everything. So that was one of our missions to do. And then afterwards we went to a non-DCH store that did things a little differently. So we came back, and one day we just basically shared our experiences, and really great training. I recommend anybody doing sales training, I recommend you go and pretend you're a customer. Go see what the car buying experience is at a dealership that you want to apply for, and also see what it's like at another company. You'll pick up some things. You might actually learn some good things. You might even see some of the bad habits. So it was very, very fun to be able to do that. So I highly recommend it. You know, get yourself trained up, get yourself skilled up. And by the way, if you are looking to level up, go check out my book, Social Shares: The Skills That Pay the Bills, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold. That's a true statement, by the way. If you're looking to learn and skill up on sales and marketing, let's talk. I would love to come out to your workshop and speak at your workshop. If you need to book a speaker for a seminar, I'm gladly to do it. Reach out to me. I have a lot of really interesting stories that I'm about to share with you. So we're going to move on to the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your day. We'll talk soon.